everybody, this is Thomas Mark, and just wanted to do a little bit of a wrap-up video here for Fire and Sword, explain what I'm doing. Fire and Sword, as I mentioned in my Let's Plays, I did go ahead and start a campaign myself, because quite frankly, I can play through a campaign faster than I can record, due to hard drive limitations. But I wanted to get a feel for what was coming and see how the game played. And you saw a little bit of what we played. I had fun with the two videos I did, but there are some deep flaws with Fire and Sword. One of the biggest ones is this engine is a lot like the original Mount and Blade, except with a lot of features cut out of it, and all they did was basically turned on guns, which guns were actually in the code for the original one anyway. In fact, some mods even took advantage of it, to varying degrees of success. Now, the thing is, modders have come in and kind of tweaked these since then. The stats, how long they reload, what the accuracy is like, and so forth in those mods. This hasn't been tweaked at all. I don't know who PlayStation this. Guns in this era, now this is around, if I had to guess, the 1600s. They aren't sharpshooters. They are wildly inaccurate, very powerful, very deadly. Actually, in some cases, some of these muzzle loaders are more deadly than some of the lesser powerful rifles we have today. It's just that they aren't accurate at all. Well, unfortunately, the AI didn't get the memo. You saw a little bit of it there when I was against those bandits. Now, granted, I was kind of, just me going in. And this isn't really about that, situation. That was just me having fun and getting used to the system. But these guns are way too accurate. Again, they are powerful. I play on 1/4 damage for myself, and you saw I was about dead with one shot anyway. So anyone playing a half or even full damage, you die in one shot. You'll get picked off rather quickly. You can kind of dodge and weave around it. That is a balance issue that probably could be fixed, with patches down the road. But the main overarching thing is lack of content. That doesn't say there isn't a couple things that are different, but they really wanted to do this story with Fire and Sword. I am not familiar with that book, and while going into this game, I knew that they were incorporating this, and I didn't really care that they were incorporating. Okay, my thought was, okay, kind of cool, but I was not expecting a really watered down version of Mount and Blade. Where do I begin? I don't know, troops are limited. There is no political intrigue really, other than what is ramrodded through this story. There is no. I guess at the end of the day, there is no sandbox here. It's you. At least not in the way Mount and Blade has always been. This story takes a little bit more precedence than I was expecting. Cool thing as it is in Fire and Sword, really the only thing I could even think of is you don't get troops from the different town like the villages. You don't like recruit that way. You have to go to like these mercenary camps, and you'll basically be allowed to recruit cavalry, infantry, and marksmen. And then you go in and you can actually customize their gear, which is kind of a blanket statement, like all the gear from like this section. Each nation has like their own mercenary camp, but that's kind of a cool feature. I sort of like it. If it wasn't in this game, I would like it. The only other thing Fire and Sword does well is multiplayer. You have the captain mode, which crashes for me every time I try to play it, but it's a cool concept anyway. I mean, again, that is bug fixes that could be fixed later. But other than that, not a whole lot to recommend Fire and Sword. So I'm not going to continue with this. However, I want to do a Mount and Blade game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinstall Warband, and I'm going to grab mod called the Eagle and the Radiant Cross, which revamps a lot of Warband. Now, originally I played that mod on the original Mountain Blade. They have since actually updated the mod to Warband standards, but it has all the features plus a whole heck of a lot more. A lot of things to do. They have the guns. Matter of fact, one full faction is based around. Well, actually, there's two factions that's kind of based around those guns. Assuming that hasn't changed since in the transition, but I don't believe it has. Regardless, I do know they have guns. They might even have cannons, although I'm not positive on that. I do know they've improved the siege battles, which sieges. I was doing a custom battle in Fire and Sword sieges. Oh my God, is it bad? Oh, wow, is it bad? But anyway, that's what we're going to do, and I'll get started on this actually pretty quick. I just need to reinstall Warband and go grab the mod itself. But I just didn't want to, all of a sudden just switch roads. I know everybody didn't watch my channel, so without a little bit of an explanation of what I'm doing and why. As to whether I'll ever come back to Fire and Sword, well, I mean, I bought the damn thing, so after a bunch of mods, maybe, but I'm very disappointed in this release. If I step backwards, is probably the overall feeling I have for this, because I've been playing with guns anyway, even from the very first time. They just have the mods that added. So having the guns wasn't really anything that wowed me with this title. It's just I was expecting a little bit more of a step forward as opposed to a step behind. So, well, let me go ahead and get started here, getting all this other stuff installed and so forth, and we'll get started with the Eagle and the Radiant Cross, which is, there's so many good mods for Mountain Blade. The mods in Mountain Blade are some of the best. You've got people that really, truly care about what they're doing and spend a lot of time. And that's another thing, Fire and Sword just was released, so, who knows what's going to come, but I do know that more likely the base features are going to be expanded. It's just always going to be bug fixes, which is okay. And we'll see what the modding community does, but for now, I'll go ahead and sign off here and get started.